He just moved to a new home. I haven't had time to install the curtains yet. Unexpectedly, I almost lost my life as a result. Just when a woman accidentally looked up, found a strange figure upstairs across the street. The other party seems to be staring at themselves. The woman got up and walked to the window to check the figure, but it's already gone. It started raining in the middle of the night. The woman stood by the window and looked out, discovered the figure across the street again. She thought, the other party may be thinking, you. Coincidentally, her husband called her to sleep. She didn't think too much and went to bed. The next day, a terrifying news was reported on TV. A homicide occurred in the building opposite. The victim is a young woman, women associate with last night's figure. I grabbed my husband and told him a story. My husband went over to take a look. No abnormalities found. Comfort a woman. Don't think too much. This day, women walking on the road. I always feel like someone is following me, watching pedestrians pass by one. She felt like she was paranoid. To ease my emotions, women enter the cinema to prepare for a movie. She deliberately chose a seat where there was no one around to sit down. But her buttocks haven't heated up yet. Behind me comes a man. A woman instantly feels like she's being stared at by a wild beast. She slowly turned her head. I was scared to see a pair of men's shoes. Turn around and dare not look again. At this point, the person behind her suddenly approached her. A strong unease makes a woman get up and run. Arriving at the brightly lit supermarket, the woman gradually calmed down. But she walked up to a shelf. An ominous premonition once again welled up in my heart. She looked aside. That's the pair of shoes from the cinema. She didn't even dare to take another look. Hurry up and hide in the stairwell. After returning home, she told her husband about the matter. My husband took her back to the supermarket to retrieve surveillance. There was no abnormality detected in the monitoring, saying that tracking is a bit reluctant. But that terrifying feeling makes women afraid to relax. She took a photo of the man with her phone. My husband wants to work overtime at the company. The woman went home alone. She came to the window uneasy, seeing no one on the other side. That's when I breathed a sigh of relief. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Suddenly, someone knocked at the door in the middle of the night. Women at home alone. But it startled her. Husband has keys to the house. It's impossible to knock on the door in the middle of the night. The woman walked nervously to the door, looking out through the cat's eyes. I opened the door with peace of mind. It's the landlady's wife who came to find her cat. The woman said she didn't see it. After sending the landlady away, coincidentally, I saw my neighbor, who had just returned home. The female neighbor sees him bored at home, invite her over to chat. The two of them had a very close conversation. The woman couldn't help but tell him the experiences of these past few days. Neighbors told him, don't be afraid, there's a gun in her drawer. If a woman encounters danger, just shout out loud. She will immediately come over with a gun to save her. My neighbor's words make women feel at ease a lot. The girl easily returned home. But when she opened the curtains, but I saw that figure again. Women comfort themselves. Maybe the other person just likes to stand by the window, not necessarily just staring at oneself. So he raised a hand. No response from the other party. The woman breathed a great sigh of relief. But just as he was about to close the curtains, the person across from me also raised their hand. Just at this moment, my husband came back. The woman quickly told her about it. The human figure had already disappeared without a trace. The woman decided to call the police. After the police keep records, prepare to go across to check the situation. My husband chooses to go together. Not long after, my husband is back. His face is a bit heavy. The man who lives opposite is the one captured by a woman. But my husband thinks that as a neighbor, a few encounters are normal. Women are very sad. I'm afraid she'll be killed one day. My husband still thinks he accidentally bumped into someone else's knife. The next night, my husband is working overtime again. The woman blocked the door with a chair. When I returned to the room, I found that the pillow had been passive, suddenly covered by someone's head. The woman blocked the door with a chair. After returning to the room, but I found out that the pillow had been passive, suddenly covered by someone's head. Fortunately, it was just a dream. But he heard a sound next door. Irina. She immediately went to the next door and knocked. The neighbors all gathered around. Women are very excited, persist in letting the landlord open the door. The room is empty, only the landlord's cat. But that sound can't be made by a cat. Women are becoming increasingly uneasy in their hearts. These days, the female neighbor is also nowhere to be seen. My father-in-law is not happy to see her. Thought she was alone at home. It's too stuffy. Decided to take her to the company party. Dissipative heart. Can be at a party. The rise of husband chat. Unexpectedly telling colleagues about women's worries these past few days as a joke. This woman is so angry that she goes straight home to pack her luggage. Prepare to leave this terrifying place. Just as she was packing up her things, suddenly, I heard a sound from the next door. Did the female neighbor come back? Remembering that warm and generous neighbor, the woman thinks it's just right to take a break. But he knocked on the door for a long time and no one answered. Trying to twist the door handle, the door is unexpectedly unlocked. The woman pushed the door and walked in. I saw the body of my female neighbor at a glance. Didn't wait for her to come back to her senses. My head was photographed by someone. It's the man who followed her. The man asked her not to make any noise. Here. My husband is back. The woman just wanted to ask for help. He struggled to crawl on the ground. Wanna go get the gun from the neighbor's drawer. Climbing halfway but losing strength. Men learn to look like women. Lying by the side, gently grasped the woman's hand. Husband calls women. But I heard my wife's bell coming from next door. I happened to meet a man when I went out. What did the husband instantly understand? Just about to step forward. Original. The woman stood up strong, got the gun and avenged himself. My husband hasn't reacted yet. What happened? The woman walked out. Give her a look. Let her experience it on her own.